Hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about ways to help people in wheelchairs feel welcomed. And if you own a business or even work at one, this might be something you want to pay attention to. And my fellow wheelchair users can feel free to leave a comment down below about what makes them feel welcome. So if you are an employer of people with special needs, thank you for giving us a chance. Here are some things to keep in mind. So, the first thing first, we are most likely going to have a whole team around us. Feel free to ask them questions and gain information as to what would help create a supportive work environment. The biggest thing that you could possibly do for us is treat us like you would any other employee. That is to say, have us do things that you actually need us to do. Don't just give us busy work, please. We're there to help you. Using people first or person first. For example, hi, my name is Amy and I have CP versus I have CP and my name is Amy. Which means basically when you look at the person's ability, or shall I say disability, using their strengths instead of focusing on, well, she's in a wheelchair, she can't do this, she can't do that. And then age appropriate conversation. And again, consult with the job coaches and team around this one as well. So, like for instance, I'm 25. I do not need to have you talk to me like I'm 5. Please and thank you in advance. When I stroll into a store, there's certain environmental things that I look for that help to tell me if it's accessible or not. And I'm just gonna talk you guys through some of those. So the biggest thing to keep in mind with the environment that you as a manager can create is that the handicap parking spots are my first impression. So if you don't have any close to your store, that might limit my access. If all the handicap spots are full, I'm okay with that. But then, honestly, where I also get mad is if some of the handicap spots that are taken are not taken by people who actually need them. So they're not taken by people who have the handicap plaque or plate. So it would be very awesome and very appreciated thing if in your store you had signs that said, please don't park in the handicap spot unless you need them. And to be honest, I haven't seen a store do that yet. So if you guys could start a trend, that would be awesome and make me very, very, very happy. Thank you guys for helping me spread the word that handicap spots are something people need to gain access. So my first impression of your store starts at the door. And if I can't open your door by myself, that limits my access in a very profound way. So if you are able to gain access to an automatic door switch, that always helps me. This is a kind of a unique thing that people don't always think about. Woolen tables are tables without a column in between, like in the middle of them, are a very good way to make people in wheelchairs feel welcome, because then they can gain access to your merchandise. And I'll tell you a little secret. If you are a restaurant owner, this is extremely important for you guys to keep in mind, because I've been in some restaurants where I have to go astride of things to astride of table legs to eat, and basically I have to undo my foot plates and bring them wider apart, and that's just not comfortable. The other thing is, if you are a store owner or store manager, it's also nice when these Woolen tables are used for cash registers, because it allows us to get close enough to you to hand you our money without fear of dropping it. I'll give you guys another little hack here. This is gonna sound crazy, so just bear with me. Even if you put your merchandise on card tables and just put a nice little tablecloth over it that matches your guys' decor, that would work too. It doesn't have to be an expensive table. I don't want you guys to think I'm coming at you saying you have to spend money, because you don't. These are just little hacks that I can give you. So unisex bathrooms help me in public when I'm transferring, because it basically provides space. There's multiple different angles that you can transfer from, and everyone sets it up differently, so space is really valuable. If you guys have any questions about if your bathroom is big enough, I'm willing to answer that down in the comment section if you want me to come and serious space I can. But the other thing is, if you have a multi-stall bathroom that's only 2 stalls, with one stall being the handicap one and the other one just being a normal stall, if you have a lock on the main door, that can sometimes be useful. And again, a lot of this is on a case-by-case basis. So if you are a store, more specifically grocery store, please do not put things in the middle of your aisle, because that just makes it really, really, really super hard to make things work. And if you're building a store, just go ahead and keep us in mind when it comes to hallways and things like that if you're building a building. Because what you don't want to have happen is we can't get down your hallway because your hallways are too narrow. But yeah, if you have a store and you have stuff in your aisles that's not on wheels or not on a rolling table, that just limits my ability to access your merchandise. So please, when you get a chance, maybe reorganize your merchandise in a way that's not blocking things. Please and thank you. So, this is a checklist that you can use periodically to see if your store is accessible. Store or restaurant or whatever you own or manage. First of all, if this goes into customer interaction. So the first thing you want to be familiar with is willingness to do what your customer is asking. So this doesn't mean that if you own a restaurant that doesn't serve fried chicken, you don't have to all of a sudden randomly serve fried chicken just for that specific company or customer just because they have special needs. The world does not work that way. But it does mean that if someone needs a certain order served in a different type of cup or in a cup instead of a bowl, like for instance, if I ordered some soup and I said, hey, please put it in a cup, in like a coffee cup with a lid. I do that because it's so much easier for me to drink soup than it is for someone to try and feed it to me through a spoon, especially if it's pureed. And then the next one is willingness to help a customer if they ask. So, what I really want you to pay attention to is the phrase, if they ask. So, what that means is if you are like a cashier at a restaurant or a store, or you're a store clerk, you do something, and you tell people, and someone in a wheelchair or who has a disability of any kind whatsoever comes up to you and says, hey, I have this diagnosis. For instance, if I came up to you and I said, hey, I'm visually impaired, can you help me see the label of this product? By all means, go up and go off if you can and help me see the label of that product. Now, the other thing is, just because we're in a wheelchair or blind or whatever, doesn't mean we always require help. So if you go up to someone and say, hey, can I help you? And they say, no, I'm good, thank you very much. That means that they're good and they want you to have a good day. Please don't make that bigger than it is. Here we go with the environmental things. So, automatic doors or doors with the handicap buttons. And then the 30-inch pathways or the wide pathways so that you can we can pass through them. Unisex or handicap accessible bathrooms. And that's pretty much it, my friends. So feel free to print this checklist out and use it in evaluating your store. Now, I will tell you this. Sometimes it's expensive to make modifications to stores that have already been built. If you are building a store, reach out to me, please. And I would be happy to be an accessibility consultant for you. Because sometimes, I promise, having someone with special needs be a consultant on a project when it's a new construction is really going to help you. Thank you for helping me create a more inclusive and understanding world. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. And go ahead and subscribe, because most likely your question will be in my next Q&A video. Thanks for watching.